Marians, welcome. Got a couple things we're gonna do tonight. I think you will enjoy. Well, I'm gonna enjoy, but I hope that you'll enjoy also. We went to Daytona Beach. My family stayed at a um, Airbnb. Awesome experience. I suggest if you travel with a bunch of people in your family, you at least consider an Airbnb. It was an awesome experience. We had a pool. We didn't have to share with anybody. We did all kinds of cool stuff that, if you got tired of someone or something or whatever, you just went to your room and you were blocked off. But for the most part, the family got to hang out together and didn't have to worry about being loud or anything of that nature. It was a fun experience. So hats off to Charity, who helped me to put that together, and my brother Lewis and my son Daniel and the whole family. We had a great time. Those are the boys, and if I forget my nephew Bobby, we played golf, and that's kind of where I want to start. And then we're going to get to. We ended up going to a place called Total Wine and More. And let me tell you, before I get into that, let's talk about the golf. The four of us never get to play golf. I play golf with my son periodically, but it's an honor to play with my brother and my nephew. We've played together, but not all four of us at one time. So, uh, one of the things that made me think about this topic was, as a new person in golf, should you go and get expensive clubs? Well, I have my own personal opinion. I don't think that you should go out and get new clubs until you have played a few rounds and you've practiced and your game is what I would call, well, you're not your game, but your swing is getting to be somewhat consistent. In other words, every time you swing the club, typically the ball goes in about the same direction and you're comfortable with that. That doesn't mean that you have a great swing. That doesn't mean that you're swinging, like Tiger Woods or anything of that nature. But for the most part, when you hit the golf ball, you know that it will go either left to right or right to left or down the middle or whatever. It's going to go either where you aim or consistently land the same place wherever you've aimed, and it may or may not be off target, but it's consistent. Now, I said all of that because once you have gotten to the point where you're swinging the same, then I suggest that you go and get a new set of clubs. But not just a new set of clubs. I suggest that you go and get fitted so that it helps to change the type of club. I mean, the type of, it fits the swing that you have. I'm a slow swinger. I don't take it all the way back and all of that stuff. Got a little bit to kind of move around. But when I transfer my weight, I get on through. I actually have graphite shaft clubs. Well, I found out that they're lighter. They fit my swing because I have a slow swing speed and it works perfectly. Um, People that swing hard and have a fast swing speed may stick with the steel shaft or whatever shafted clubs in that situation. They may even need a stiff steel. But graphite, I tell you, has come a long way. And I would tell people don't sleep on graphite. Um, but to kind of go back, used clubs to me are a great way to get into the game, see if it's something that you're going to like, see if you're going to play it, see how consistent you're going to get. You might even take a couple of lessons, but at that point in time, the equipment isn't going to help or hurt you that much in the beginning of your golf play. It's not until you get a little further along you start really getting an understanding of what you're doing with your swing, how the swing is changing, things of that nature, that buying a set of clubs and upgrading your equipment makes a difference. You can change stuff as much as your ball. You can change grips. You can change all kinds of stuff. But the equipment doesn't come into play until you start swinging the club pretty much the same way each time. In some cases, they can get clubs that'll kind of change your ball flight a little bit based upon your swing, and they can customize it. The biggest thing that I would suggest customizing first is your putter. It's the club that you're going to use the most. It's the club that means the most. You know, a lot of people laugh and use that old adage, drive for show, putt for dough. But in this case, the putter is the most important club in your bag. If you can't putt, it's going to be hard for you to score. Simple as that. You can be on the green in 2, 3 putt, and you're still making bogeys. So keep that in mind. Now, it was funny, but I broke down that you don't always have to pull a driver or a 3 wood to play a golf course. A lot of times you can pull your 7 iron out or your longest iron, hit off the tee, and it'll cut your golf course in half in most cases. If you can do that consistently, and then add a driver and a 3 wood into the mix, you'll be unstoppable. A lot of people get confused that they have to get up and use a driver on short holes or on holes that they really don't need to use a driver on. If it's tight, why would you use a driver and you're not good at hitting the ball straight? So keep that in mind. Um, you know, it was fun watching my nephew, my son, and my brother try to do some of the things that I was trying to help them with, and they actually got pretty good towards the end. We got tired; it was hot, but it was an awesome day out on the golf course. So I guess the two things that I learned or wanted to talk to you about was don't worry so much about your equipment on the front end. Get you something that is reasonable so that you can get in and actually play golf pretty good. And then the other thing is, just to summarize, get good at 150 in and don't worry about those long clubs to start off with. If you can get good with 150 in or 100 in, where you can get a wedge or something like that to get close to the flag, I promise you, you can start going out on the course and be competitive with a lot of golfers. All right. Well, I wanted to start off with golf this time because normally we start off with the bourbon deal. As I said, this was the Daytona trip. It was a fun trip. Didn't get to go bourbon hunting per se, but they took me to a place, like I said, called Total Wine and More. And this is a new bottle for me that was there. I think I paid 80 something bucks for it. But I've never had Old Forrester. Now, I've been able to get some of the allocated bourbons and things of that nature, but apparently this one is not easy to get either. It's a Old Forester single barrel string, and it is a store pick because it has their name on it, Total Wine and More. But it looks like it's a dark bourbon and dark whiskey. It's a Kentucky whiskey, and it's 129 proof. So it's a high proof whiskey. It was in warehouse J, and it was on the third floor. Now, from what I understand, the higher up on the floor, the better the heat exchange, I guess, or whatever on the barrels are. So you can expect a little bit different or a better taste as to the lower barrels. Uh, we're gonna find out today. But let me tell you a little bit about the store. Total Wines is it's awesome. You walk in, there's a guy on your left. Well, in this case, it was a person on the left hand side. They checked your ID, and you just started tasting. You started tasting from the time you walk in. Then they have a special bourbon section in the middle of the store. There's a lady walking around in a cart that has bourbons in it. You can try those. And then you can go to the back left part of the store where the wines are. You can try some of those. They even had a station that wasn't open on the left. I mean, on the right, and it you could try there. And then there was a guy at the end of the bourbon station that had bourbons that he wanted you to try. So, boy, let me tell you, you walk around and keep trying that kind of stuff all during that store. You do not want to leave, and you are about right when you leave that store. They have everything. Even the allocated stuff was in a glass case, but it was nice. I mean, it was fun to watch some of the stuff that they had and to see the prices were reasonable. If you're ever in the Daytona Beach area, try to see if you can go buy Total Wine, Total Wine and more. Okay, but let's go ahead and get involved in trying to see what this old Forrester is going to be like. I'm going to just run my finger here and see if we can crack the paper and plastic. There we go. Oh yeah, now that was a good cork pop right there. All right, 129 proof. Let's see what we got here. Let me move this so you can kind of see it. Let's see that way. You can definitely tell there's a high proof because it hits your nose almost immediately. Not much that I can tell. I'm still learning this smelling and the palate taste and all of that. But the main thing is how does it taste? Hold on one second. Let's take a look. Yeah, that's pretty good. It does have a little bit of an oakiness to it. And when I say oakiness, it does hit you. I wouldn't say woody, but it does have a interesting beginning. The proof kind of takes all of that out as it goes down, but it hits you a little strange in the beginning, but it just gets real good as you go through it. Let's try it again. Nice little vanilla taste to it. Definitely something that I could probably sip on during the week. Uh, we did try something while we were in the Airbnb. Let me tell you, we cracked open the Buffalo Trace. I took some down there. They loved it. And my nephew, Bobby Eden, um, he he wanted me to try Four Roses. Let me tell you, that Four Roses will get on you real quick, and it doesn't take a whole lot to get you where you need to be, but it is delicious. And if you are in the store, Four Roses is pretty easy to get, so it shouldn't be a problem. But it is a very smooth and delicious bourbon. I'm going to try and see if I can grab me a bottle of it and try it on here for you. But we really enjoyed it. And then, like I said, till then, you have a great evening, and I'll let you know if anything changes on this bottle. Thank you, Kamarians.